Hello, welcome to stage 3 of the Tour de Suisse in the 2010 database with the 2019 Tour de Suisse route. Last stage we saw our first undulating route and we saw a bunch of 27 get away, leaving Tony Martin in the leaders jersey, Nocentini in the climber jersey, Cloyden in the points and Martin in the youth. Favourites for today's stage. So today's stage looks really flat. There's a little bit of a cobble section in the middle with a small climb. Shouldn't do too much damage to the riders. Otherwise, the favourites for today's stage are HTC's Colombia's Mark Cavendish, the Manx missile with 82 sprint, 83 acceleration. We then got Petacci of Lompre, Flair of Rubberbank, Greipel of HTC. If Cavendish doesn't win, Greipel will. Ferrara of Garmin Transitions, McEwen of Katusha, Boonen of Quickstep, Davis of Pro Team Astana, Chichi of Liquigas, and Graham Brown of Rabobank. The magazine reckons Vinokurov will be quite a tough opponent today, and Vauclair will make it an interesting race. Let's get into it. So, looking back on stage 1 of the 2010 Tour de Suisse, obviously a different route. It came out as a sprint stage, and Heinrich Hausler won in front of Pablo Utzon and Marco Mercato. Last stage we did have a DNF. There was Adam Blythe of Team Omega Pharma Lotto and the whole Trek under 23 squad. We also had a big sprinter pull out.
The race has cobbled sections that are renowned for testing both bikes and their riders. You've got to know what you're doing.
We had a big sprinter pull out last stage. If you look overall, that big sprinter once again was the sprinter, Matthew Goss from HTC Columbia. So, a lead-out man for Cavendish. Let's get this race underway. So we'll keep it on about ×2 until the breakaway goes, then possibly looking at ×4. Hessink is there in the youth jersey, because Martin is winning the overall. Vasil Kirienka, riding for the Movistar team. Nocentini in his mountain classification jersey for Team AG2R. Looks like Clement's possibly coming up for an attack. No, everyone's just setting up nicely, nothing really happening. Simon Gerrans is there. Simon Gerrans now riding for Mitchelton Scott. And to attack looks like it's Christoph Guazev and Mikhail Nieve. Counter-attacking is Sebastian Chavanel, Van Sumeren, Mondori, and looks like the bunch is not letting them go, so they're setting up. Breakaway has been established, 5 riders, no one in here. The person who is highest on GC is Tommy Vauclair at 3 minutes down. He's also second on the mountain classification. He'll be wanting to take points in that to catch up to Nocentini. Vauclair is 14 points down on Nocentini. Today on offer there are 6 points. So he can get closer, but he will not be able to take the lead of Nocentini in today's stage. Let's ×4 that. It's 3 minutes between them. Nothing's really happening. Lance Armstrong in the peloton. He lost 5 minutes yesterday. Looks like he'll be a domestic for his team leader, Lefheimer, who is 4th on GC. ×8 now. 1.3 kilometers to the mountain points. Tommy Vauclair has attacked the breakaway as expected to try and get those points. Chavanel will probably be the one to chase after him. He's got 77 mountain. Neve will be able to take 3rd, unless he's sprinted the line by Gutierrez. So Vauclair, as expected, took those mountain points. Pretty boring course, nothing else, just undulating hills coming through here. This other 3rd category climb would be quite interesting to see. There's a bit of cobbles according to the initial section. So maybe we might see some of the sprinters stuck at the back. Who's this? Popovic has had a fall. He's 2 minutes down. He was 7 minutes on the GC already, so just a domestic. No one's going to really chase after him. Back in the peloton, not much is happening. Hincapie, I love that Hincapie National Champs jersey. Let's have a look at that. That's pretty good. BMC, the stars. TJ Van Garderen looks good in that as well. I will admit, the Astana jersey for 2010, 2009, the best Astana jerseys that they've had. My favourite, at least. This is the Dutch champion. Morenhout. Peloton's a little bit pacing at the front by Team Lompre and Robank and Liquigas, but otherwise they're keeping the advantage about 250. Nothing else exciting happening yet. Who else can we talk about? Is young Vincenzo Nibali. So at this point he hadn't won a Grand Tour yet, I don't think. Oh well, we'll keep going through here. Here we go, Tommy Vockler. They're on the cobbled climb now. Sebastian Chavanel's got 78. Cadel Evans has got a puncture on the cobbles. He maintains his position in the peloton, but he falls back a bit. Mika Nieves just fully dead on these cobbles. Tom Lesia, the peloton's maybe a kid slower up there. There's a few small gaps, but everyone will eventually, I'm pretty sure, sit up and wait for each other. Group of 5 out in front. Yep, they're sitting up and waiting. There's Boonen in his Champions jersey for Amiga Pharma Lotto, Belgian champion. There's a small gap back here, looks like that front group of 12 are pacing a bit. An Avermaet in there. It might come down to a bit of a split bunch. Who has been dropped out the back? Woodseren, Bono, Gregory Henderson, Pino. Henderson needs to get back up there if he wants to have a chance at winning the stage. On this back bunch here we have Simon Gerrans, Dan Martin, sorry. I thought I saw Richie Port. Yes, Richie Port is back in this back bunch. He is losing even more time to the leaders. Chris Horner's back there. Julian Dean still in the main peloton, which is still kind of split into two groups. Front group here, Robbie McEwen. Looks like they're just sitting up now, waiting for the peloton. Yep, the time is just melting away. There's still a large group back here with Caruso now dropped. Roach, Horner, Dumoulin, Port. It's all coming. It's all breaking up. And there's another split in the peloton. Mika Nieves has dropped the wheel once again. Looks like with the rain. And back group at 25. This is Chris Horner, Veljak, Jean, Nicholas Roach. Running time is 43 seconds down. Van der Velde will be losing his place in 15th today. Richie Port, we lost 5 minutes, but losing more time. Greg Henderson, a favourite for today's stage for Team Sky. Dan Martin, Edvard Bosenhagen, Simon Gerrans, and Huguenot. So it looks like it's going to be a reduced peloton out in front. And Andre Greipel is pacing or attacking? One odd place for Greipel to attack. 21 kilometers to go. Looks like he's lost all the energy. Verticast is out the front now. It's 2K to the sprint points here. Vockler, will Vockler take the points? Gutierrez comes round, take first. No, Vockler takes first. Vockler is first in the overall points classification, provisional. Peloton's now back to 81 riders. That big bunch caught back up. Julian Dean's lost out. 13 kilometers to go. The breakaway still has about a minute 30. Will the breakaway survive? It is a bit of a 50-50 at the moment. Enrico Gasparotto pacing on the front. For Davis, team of Contador. Frere is there. There are more splits happening in the bunch. Riders are unable to keep up. Pinotti's been dropped. Vockler, the solo leader. Gilbert and Van Avermaet are now helping with the pacemaking. Sebastian Chavanel attacks him. He and Vockler are at the front now. Gutierrez and Kritsov. There's 1 kilometer to go. Who will take the stage? Vockler is going round. Vockler. Thomas Vockler takes stage 3 of the Tour de Suisse. Sebastian Chavanel and Kritsov. Here goes the main peloton. Mark Cavendish, the Manx missile. He will settle for 5th ahead of Davies. Ferrara. Most of the GC favourites are in this peloton here. There are some small sprints, but hopefully that won't affect them. Sola is last on the road, 25 minutes. Will he make it? He has made it 14 and 15 minutes behind.
And here are the key moments of the race.
So look at the podiums. Stage winners: Thomas Vockler, Sylvain Chavanel, Yuri Kritsov and Jose Ivan Gutierrez. 40 seconds ahead of everyone else. General classification: Tony Martins maintains his lead. Cadel Evans is now up to 1 second behind. Liefheimer 8. Contador, Sanchez, Wiggins, Nibali, Kirkin, and Christophe Perard, with a few people losing out. Climate is still no Santini, but Vockler closes the lead slightly. Points classification: Vockler steals the points classification lead of Andreas Kloden. Tony Martin still leads the young rider, now with a larger gap back to Rain Tarame. Team classification is Radio Shack with 4 seconds to Pro Team Astana. Vinokurov, Evans, no one really lost time. First people that did: Kiryenka, Pereiro, Kloiden, Armstrong, Lochkov, Fogelsang, Henderson, Port. No one lost time. Points class, that's general overall. Vinokurov in 11th, Hessink still just over a minute, just under a minute, separating the first. Wow, first 20 or a minute 20. So for the first 20, so it could be anyone's game through here, but predominantly these ones at the top. Points classification: Vockler's a decent lead over Kloiden, no Santini over Vockler, Martin over Hessink and Schleck, and Team Radio Shack. Thanks for tuning in for Stage 3. Tune in tomorrow for Stage 4.